Steph Curry comes into town, and we get a three-point shooting display from the Minnesota Timberwolves as they have a season-high tying 21 threes in this one, led mostly early on by Naz Reid, who hit his first 5, would end 6 of 8 from threes, did kind of everything he did in this game in the first half, where he had 17 points, really kept us through that game as we'd struggled to score in the first half. Again, just 46 points in that half. We trailed by 7 or 8 at that point. And Naz would also have 5 turnovers in that stretch, as this was not a well-played game out of the Timberwolves, and we really won that one based on our three-point shooting. That can make up for a lot of bad basketball in today's NBA. And it did so because we were sloppy, inattentive, had some plays that were just kind of gross, and I'll walk through some of those. And we started this game with 8 turnovers in its first 8 minutes. We could not score the basketball. We had either 17 or 18 points in that first quarter. 18-26 is what we trailed at the end of the first, and it was a really ugly one. We had some kind of inexcusable plays for the layups that we gave up in transition. We had 2 different occasions where we shot a pull-up 3 in transition, so half of our team isn't even back on offense, and we give layups on the defensive end following that. One was a Monte Morris pull-up, the other was Naz Reid's only missed 3 of the half when we were just trying to get him a quick look. It was kind of deep, and most of our team is already not even on offense, and we're giving up buckets on that. They also had an out-of-bounds call on Rudy that they get an open layup on, and Naz tries to help, gets an and one for Wiggins. And it was kind of like only Naz and Ant were even locked in the first half of this game. One thing I want to say with Ant being locked in the first half, I want to point out a play in specific, 2:30 left in the half. He just makes an insane read. He gets a screen and roll, gets doubled off of it, drags it all the way out to like the right wing of the court, and sees the man rotating to the person top of the key, kind of the obvious kick out, and he bullets the ball to the left corner for Jane McDaniels 3, and the ball placement of that pass, the ability to see it, especially over, I think it was Trace Jackson Jr., and just all of the mental cogs churning to make that amazing play at just 22 years old. I mean, so amazing. Gotta be excited about the capacity of Ant to continue to grow, and he's already so amazing. Although I'll have more negative things to talk about with him in specific tonight. He also was hitting the 3 in this one. Second half is where everyone kind of came along and started to hit triples with Mike Conley getting going. Nickeil Alexander-Walker, I also want to really shout out his second half. I thought it was one of the main keys of us going on a big run and getting into this game was his three-point hits. I've talked about his sidestep 3 and the growth in that realm. He also had an amazing play in transition where he hits a spin move. I think Chris Paul was reaching on him, able to push the ball through transition, gets a corner kick to Conley for 3, drills that one, and kind of got us surging. Monte Morris also with some big buckets in this one. Although I thought, there was a stretch in the first quarter between he and Kyle Anderson of just some oddly uncharacteristic pull-ups out of them for like 5 straight possessions that all missed, and were just some poor shot selection moments, and a big reason why we only had 18 points in that first quarter. But I was pretty discouraged in a lot of points at our effort and quality of play in this one. I thought the transition defense, the help defense, and the defensive rebounding was all really lax at points, and we were not nearly as locked in as you come to expect out of this team. However, I've kind of been saying all year, we play like a half of good basketball in every game, it seems like, and we still have this record that has us the 3 seed in the West right now, and I believe we're just a half game back of the Thunder and the Nuggets, who are the top 2 right now. So that's still close, even though we're missing Cat. Still potential to snag one of those seeds higher than us. It's not like we're completely locked in the 3. To talk about some of those negatives I saw in today's game with Ant, I mentioned the rebounding was a bit of a problem tonight, and I wasn't happy with some of that, especially with the enormous size advantage we have in comparison to this puny Warriors team. He gave up 3 offensive rebounds in that fourth quarter to Gary Payton II, who does do that. That guy's a dog. He's trying out there. but one of them was under a minute in a crucial possession for the Wolves to give up that offensive rebound. And also there was a possession. Gary Payton gets 2 offensive rebounds on the possession, just kind of back-to-back to get a putback on the second attempt. And he was in between Ant, Nas, and Rudy, which is just a crazy group to snag a board from. The other thing that I wanted to point out with Ant, the 13th technical. I mean, he's tied for the most technicals in the NBA at this point with Luka Doncic and Dylan Brooks. You've got noted annoying complainer, which, man, Ant is really, he's that now. He really is, which is frustrating. He's the most likable person maybe in the NBA, but it does get obnoxious how much he's bickering at the officials. I do the same thing. I despise them. I think they suck, and I'm going to support that as well, but I'm not the one getting teed up. And then you got Dylan Brooks, who's just like the noted asshole of the NBA. So that's the company that Anthony Edwards is finding himself in, and 13 is significant because after 16 technicals, you receive a 1-game suspension. So Ant is getting real close to that. But it's not like Ant is unjustified in a lot of his frustration with the officials. The foul calls have certainly dried up for him, and they've never been particularly present through his career. I noted the free throw attempts in his last 5 games. It looks like he got 8 attempts in this game, which, I mean, it's true, but 4 of those were intentional fouls at the end of the game, not like he's actually driving, receiving contact, and getting the foul call, which he does all the time. And note, he's got more usage, more responsibility, more contact and focus with Karl-Anthony Towns not being on the court. And he's getting shots up, not getting whistles. Last 5 games. So he had the 8 free throws in this one, then free throw attempts. 4, 2, 4, and 3. That sound like star player to you? Nope, not at all. So I get his frustration, and NBA refs gonna be absolute dog shit. That's like their job description, I think. But he's got to find a better balance, and there's got to be some type of reversal there. Because I don't enjoy having the need to just rant about them every game, and I think with Cat and Ant and their demeanor towards the officials, I just don't see how this gets better, and I think that they're justified in a lot of their anger, but it's exhausting, and I don't feel like the officials are going to be the one to just suddenly be more receptive. Probably has to come from our end. I don't know, but that's the deal. 4-point win at home against an alright team. I mean, the Warriors, I think they're too small, maybe a bit too old. They haven't found their groove at home this year. Like, they're a funky team this year. I don't think that they're a real threat to like do something late in this year, but it's not like they're scrubs out there either. So, solid win. Next one is Wednesday against the Pistons, who scrubs. There we go. That's better. Peace out.